Sometimes I just have to ask myself, like, why do I insist on being a DIY girl? Like, why? I'm not cut out for this. Hello friends, welcome back to another vlog. We are doing a little bit of HQ after hours, if you will. Because if you can see behind me, I have my $12.50 piece that my parents picked up for me in Arizona. So it has made quite the journey up here. But I have an event next Wednesday, which is well, tomorrow is Wednesday. So 1 week from tomorrow, I have an event happening in here. And that can't be sitting there. And I would much rather get it painted and done and start using it instead of like bring it into the back and worry about it later. So we are on a little bit of a tight time frame because I definitely have other things I should be working on. But that's too bad. We are going to work on this. So I will show you the whole thing before I get started, but I need to put a coat of primer on it, which is dreadful. I like to just like get in to the meat and potatoes, but I need to put a coat of primer on this. And then I am going to use this Swiss Coffee off-white paint. I think that will look great. That way it's not the same colors as my walls, but I didn't really want to do a color, and Mom also agreed that it should just be off-white. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so it actually has a ton of storage. I actually do think I'm going to take these two doors off of it so that it's just open, it's like open, whatever you call it, for display. But the two doors open up and it looks like this. There is pegs for another shelf in here, which I'm definitely going to do, but there isn't the shelf, so I'm gonna get a piece of wood and just make the shelf myself. And then this piece actually like comes out into this table, which is gonna be super nice for like a little bit more display area. To get like, I think I'll get maybe some wainscoting or something to put in the back there to cover up where it's obviously for like cords and stuff. I'm out of breath. I get to talking and I forget to breathe. But I think it's going to work great. Right now it seems like a little bit big and I'm thinking, where am I gonna put it? But some things are gonna have to be moved around and changed up a bit, but that's totally fine. I already knew that would be the case. And I think once the doors and stuff are off of it, it will make it look a lot smaller. So I'm quite excited. I need to wipe it down because it's pretty dusty, so I need to wipe it down and stuff, and then I will get to putting on the first layer of Kills. Probably use like hot water and soap or something to wipe this off, but I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna use this window cleaner. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this thing has a bit of a foul smell. Like it kind of smells like pee. So I'll just leave you with that information. I think it's wiped down good enough. I am going to remove these doors because if I don't have to paint them, I don't want to. I probably won't throw them away yet, but I'm gonna take them off and they can be painted later if need be. Okay, this already feels so much better for the space without the doors. It just makes it look a lot smaller and much more manageable. So that is perfect. I'm going to start on the primer now. It like really smells like pee. I wish I had someone here for a second opinion so I didn't think I was like losing my mind, but that's what it smells like to me. got the first layer of Kills on. Hopefully I did a thick enough coat. Mom, if you're watching this and you're thinking it's not thick enough, like, it's too late, so hopefully it works. It is 8:45. I'm gonna go home and crawl into bed and, I don't know, watch some sort of TV show. I have to tell you guys that I have been adamantly against a TV in our bedroom ever since Cole and I met. Like, I had a TV in my bedroom at college, but that was because, like, pretty much your whole life is in the one bedroom, you know? But after I moved into a house, I was adamantly against a TV in the bedroom. Well, Cole has like kind of a hard time falling asleep at night usually. And a lot of times he would fall asleep out in the living room in his chair watching TV. And I said, you know what? Let's just put the TV in the bedroom. We had an extra TV downstairs. And I have to say, I love it. Like, it's so nice. We spend the majority of the evening out in the bed or in the living room. And then when we're ready to just kind of call it a night, we go in and turn on the TV and I just fall right asleep. It is so nice. So now I look forward to crawling into bed and turning on some stupid television. So anyways, I'm gonna go home and do that, and tomorrow morning I will put the Kills on this stuff that still needs it and then wash out my brush and get started on the paint. Good morning, you guys. Hopefully my coffee machine is not too loud in the background, but I just got to the headquarters this morning. It is 6 o'clock. I realized I need to change my clock from daylight savings because it says it's only 5. But it is 6 o'clock. I have until about 8 that I can paint, so I thought I would get in here bright and early. I also was smart enough to wear my actual paint clothes this morning. Usually I would just try to risk it. But I have my shirt on for the day under my sweatshirt, and I wore my paint pants, and I brought my change of clothes. So I just brewed a cup of coffee and let's get this show on the road. Okay, I just finished the primer. I think it's looking good. As good as a coat of primer can. I am definitely going to need more of this, but I think I'm going to run to Great Falls this weekend and get some. And I'll also get, like, I think I'm going to try to put wainscoting in the back of that so I can grab some of that. And whatever other odds and ends I might need. But I shouldn't need too much. They literally give you those paint openers. You think I could find one? No, I'm using a dirty spoon. This is the same color that I used on my $8 Goodwill cabinet that I painted like in one of the very first vlogs. The cabinet that I painted in order to hide things like Cole's Xbox, and then he got a PS5 and it doesn't fit in the cabinet. So we're like basically back to square one, but I don't want to talk about it. No, please don't look at that. Sure, no, you can't look at the paint. Like, are you okay? I have successfully made my outfit change and it is time to do some real work. But I got most of the first coat on, except for on a few little things. Grr, quit. Grr is like a menace to any paint project. So anyways, it's off to a good start. I realized that there was some feet that can go on the bottom of it, like they're just like little round feet, and I think they would be really cute on there, but I don't think I'm gonna put them on because it's honestly just like another place for dog hair to get trapped, dog hair and dirt. So I'm going to leave that off, but then I need to cut down, you can see the legs of that little table sticking up. I need to cut those down a few inches so that it sits flat, because without the feet on there, it sits a little bit crooked. So that's a project for once it's closer to done, but I just thought of that because I was thinking, well, it sits crooked because of those feet. I guess I'll have to put the feet on. It's like, no, you dum-dum, you could just cut the legs down. So that's what I'm gonna do, but That's for down the road. So I gotta get to work. We're making good progress. Okay, it's a few days later. I have about 1.5 coats on my thing. It's over there. It's kind of smelling up the whole place. I have asked several people if it smells weird in here and they all said no, but like maybe they're lying because I feel like it smells weird in here. But whatever, today is Thursday. I'm going to Great Falls on Saturday and I am going to get more paint. So I just have to wait on that. I think I mentioned already, it does need to be like done and dusted. This place needs to look presentable by next Wednesday. So less than a week, we are at 6 days. And that's all I'll say about that. But I got some new hanging things, a new type of hanger for trying to hang my floating shelf. Hopefully I can put it into this thing without it like yanking out. We'll see, I'll report along the way. Hopefully it works. And if it doesn't, I guess we'll go to plan C, which I don't have a plan C yet, but if we need to create one, we will. I do need to look up is a 2x4 1.5 inches wide? Siri, is a stud 1.5 inches wide? Stud? I am so smart. Okay. I need a tape measure. Okay, we'll put that on there and this on here. Okay, I gotta hang up the phone and concentrate. Because this has a lot of potential to go so badly. Sometimes I just have to ask myself, like, why do I insist on being a DIY girl? Like, why? I'm not cut out for this. Okay, it just happened for the second time that I was blabbing away and I didn't have the record button pushed, but I got that all done. Thank God. So, now I'm standing here brainstorming how I need to move things around and change things up in order to fit my new cabinet in here. And I do think that this cabinet, if you can call it a cabinet, it's literally held together by like 5 screws. I think that needs to move over here underneath the clock. Now the clock, I am very attached to said clock, not only because it's extremely handy to have a clock right there, but Grammy gave me that clock for a headquarters warming gift. So the clock is not going anywhere. It will, well, since I put these floating shelves on 500 years ago, the clock hasn't been centered on that wall, but I've never fixed it, so now's a great time. The clock might have to move up a little bit on the wall, and the other thing is I do think this is a little bit too tall to fit under the clock and like look normal. We'll see. I'm gonna take it over there. Hopefully I can get it over there without it literally falling apart. I'm gonna take it over there and see. But my plan of action, if it is too tall, I'm going to remove this top section. So it would just be this section, and then I could still put stuff on top here as a display. It actually might be a more workable piece that way because sometimes the little squares are a little bit restrictive. So that is my plan of action. As you guys know, I'm so impatient. Once I get an idea in my head, I can't move on. So I think I'm gonna call Cole. It's 5:15. I'm gonna call Cole. I assume he's going to be out at the ranch for a little while longer because since daylight savings happened, it's like lighter longer and it's just nice to be out doing things. So I think I'm going to try that out right now. Unfortunately, this project requires that I make a huge freaking mess before I can make it look good. I hate that kind of project. Okay, I think that might be cute. Good morning, you guys. I just got to the headquarters and it is in the state of disarray that I left it in last night, which is always a bummer to get back to, but I didn't know how to not do that last night, so it is what it is. I am really liking this piece right here. So that is going to stay there for now. I think that I am going to, even though this is not done yet, I think I'm gonna move it over here and I can finish painting it while it's over here. Just so one, I can get a better idea of what it looks like, and two, it'll help to get things back in order even though things are not done. So I'm going to attempt to do that myself. Dad left the dolly here somewhere, so it must be out in the garage. So I'm going to go look for that and then we'll see if we can get it moved. It's probably a project I should ask Cole for help on, but I'm just like, I can't be bothered to wait for my husband, you know? I'd rather like get a hernia and lose an arm than wait for help. I just got back from Great Falls, so we are back in action. I'm back in my painting uniform. Before I get to painting again though, I think I'm going to cut the wainscoting that I got for the back part of, that I'm gonna put here, like on the back part. And then I also got a piece of MDF to put as a shelf. I was thinking that I would have to get like a 4x8 piece of wainscoting and have them like cut it there because I couldn't fit that in my car. However, they had these like planks. It's kind of like the plank flooring and it's the exact perfect height that I need. I think I might have to cut like 1/4 of an inch off, and then it was wide enough that I could just get this. So it's much less tedious to use. So I'm going to start off by cutting my shelf/shelves and cutting this to size. So let's get to it. One side done. It is certainly not perfect. Of course, it's not like perfectly square in there, and then I did not cut perfect either. So there are some gaps and stuff here and there, but I think I can just cover that with caulking. So that was pretty easy, honestly. So now I just have to do the other side. Now the other good news is that I did not think I had any caulk, but I do. I am not really 100% sure. It is for, oh, wood, composite, and PVC trim. So I think it'll work just great. Do I have a caulking gun? No, but I think I can make it work. I have to tell you, my safety goggles are so scratched on this side, it actually makes it hard to see. But this stuff freaking flies stuff into your eyes. I even got stuff in my eyes with the goggles on, so I just had to literally cut the tiniest sliver off of here. It's probably still not gonna fit. Oh, haha. Girl, you gotta go lay down. Hey, that's not helpful. You gotta go lay down, please. Thank you. Hey, you gotta go lay down. Gert, that's not helpful. Okay, I love you so much, but you gotta watch the heck out. All right, well, we've had some wins, And we've also had a loss. You know how they say measure twice, cut once? I went for the measure once, cut twice, except for you can't cut twice because you cut too much off. So the one win, I used my I think this is like a little oscillating saw. Is that what it's called? I used it for the first time and it worked perfectly. Okay, the caulking looks so good. This is what the side that's done looks like. And this is what the not done side looks like. So I'm going to finish that side now. Okay, I've made great progress today. I will be able to finish it up tomorrow. I got the coat of paint in there. And so I'm just gonna leave everything to dry. I have a few spots to touch up tomorrow, but nothing too crazy. So it's coming along nicely. Tomorrow is the goal to get it finished because I can't put any more time into this. Good morning, you guys. Today is get this freaking thing done day, okay? We got our work cut out for us, but I don't think it'll take too long, hopefully. I don't want to spend my whole day doing this, but we'll see. It has to be done. So I am just going to get started. Okay, I'm trying to decide how much of this I want to cut off. I think I'm going to cut quite a bit. This is how far it was out initially. Try not to scratch the paint I just painted. So it was initially about here, which I think is a bit too far. It kind of like restricts the area. It looks unnatural. But I think if I take it back about like here, here-ish, I think that's cute. And it still gives you area for display, but it's not like sticking out too far into this area. All right, you guys, I am so happy with how this turned out. Absolutely adorable. Like, I absolutely love it. I think I got the table the perfect amount of cut, so it's not sticking out too far, but it is sticking out. I love the color. Like, I'm just so happy with it. I think it looks really amazing. And it really adds to the space without making the space seem too crowded. So Burger is looking at me like we are never going to get to go home. I'm hosting an event here tomorrow, so I stayed here late to get everything kind of put together and organized and ready. And I'll finish up the last few things tomorrow, but I just wanted to show you guys the finished product. I wanted to get it all decorated before the gals get here tomorrow. This is the event that I needed to have it done for, so I am seriously so happy with how it turned out. It literally cost me $12. It didn't even cost me $12.50 because Mom didn't let me pay her back for it. So it cost her $12.50, and everything else that I had to get for it, I just used a gift card for. So I am absolutely elated with how it turned out, and thank you so much for following. If you made it this far, you are a gem, and I will see you in the next one.